Okay, looks like we are live. We'll wait a few minutes, see who will show up. Yeah. I had been debating on or off to talk about this, but things have gotten a little too far. So I'm going to briefly, and hopefully this won't be that long of a stream. For those of you joining late, you will be able to catch this in the replay. I'm only going to address a few points. But we'll get to that in a few minutes. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's see what's going on. Is there anybody out there? Okay. I'll wait a few minutes. This is an impromptu stream. And I know, yeah, according to my analytics, this is not exactly the best time for me to stream, but it's also the time when I'm most alert. I'm not that tired, like when I'm more awake, when I'm not that tired. So it's kind of a toss-up, do I wait till the optimum time according to my analytics, which is more often than not, I'm tired and I'm sleeping. My sleep patterns have been all over the map as of late. Okay. All right. So how is everybody doing tonight? Switch it up to live chat as a reminder. All right. Hey, Ellen Green. Oh, she was. So I see. Oh, poor Clara. Yeah, but you know what, Ellen? Clara's not going to like a thing I do anyway. So, and nor will her friends, and her minions and her stenographers. So what are you going to do, right? I mean, hey, she hated my little parody, what are you going to do? It's her right. It's opinion. Yes, people. See, that's an example of an opinion. Okay. Okay. Disliking the parody I did, that is an opinion. That's fine. I'm okay, Ellen. I'm okay. I had my cage rattled past few days. I had been busy with medical tests, navigating, especially when the Rona is spiking in this city. And the premier of this province has no clue what he's doing. Makes things up as they go along. Hey, Rosa Wellington, good to have you. Good to have you with us. So we'll wait to see if a few more people stop by the chat. And then I will get started with my brief points, like I said. It doesn't look like I have a mod in here right now, but it looks like it'll probably be quiet while I'm live anyway. And like I said, I'm pretty alert. Hey, Nova! Nova Ray, good to see you. Good to see you. Anyways, I don't have a mod in here, but it looks like I think it'll be quiet in here, so I'll be able to manage. Hey, your channel is next. I am so glad to see you in here. Annie Apocalypse, would you like to mod for me? Just let me know if you let me know with a yes or a no in the chat if you're interested, and I'll make you all armed and dangerous with a blue wrench. Ready to go. All right, excellent. Thanks so much. I'm going to get you. All right. Okay, did it work? Do you want to type something in the chat for me, please? See if it worked. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. Okay, Annie Apocalypse, at a later time, I will DM you how I usually roll with the mods. But for tonight, I'm not entertaining any trolls, or this is whatever I have to talk about tonight. It's not up for debate. It is not a discussion. It is my observations and my own experiences. It is my truth. So it is not, okay, so it is not up. Okay, so it's not, so anyways, like I said, so for tonight, please, no trolls. No trolls. Okay, none. All right, and I have to warn you, the name Lenny Sparks, that is a sock account for a drunk girl on the treadmill. I'm 99.9% sure it is her for a variety of reasons. I don't have time to get into that right now. But yeah, Lenny Sparks. She also goes under the name Dawn Richards, Dawn Hitchards, and Julia something or other, and God knows whatever else. So none of them are welcome here. Okay. There we go. So yeah, I'm glad to see you all. All right. Yeah, please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, or those who are lurking, the stenographers, if you're lurking, please feel free to give it a thumbs up, a thumbs down if it's going to make you feel good. You know, if that floats your boat, hey, who am I to say? So, okay. So in the first place, yes. Now people have been seeing for a while, floating around a lot from DC. Thank you, Clara. Thank you, Clara. A woman who is a little bit older than me, but she's closest to my age. Okay. Yes, tweet this, Clara. You don't want to miss this for your audience. You know, you can live tweet all you want. You're just not going to come in my chat. So, anyways, yeah. I want to address, first of all, the, okay, my diagnosis with early onset frontotemporal dementia. There have been a lot of questions about that, a lot of speculation. And yes, I had seen that somebody had speculated about it about a month ago on Kiwi Farms. Go figure. No, I'm not their latest lol cow yet. But anyways, that's always subject to come up. And yeah, that's fine. If that, again, that floats their boat. So anyways, I'm not going to get into the long story about my own experience with early onset frontotemporal dementia for the following reasons. Number one, there is a video that I did a year and a half ago when I was still a mental health story time channel, when I was still in the double digit subs, okay? And so if you want the longer version of it, it's a year and a half ago, but it's still quite congruent to my own experience. It's in the pinned comment below. You can watch. Also, if you're interested in how somebody really lives with early onset frontotemporal dementia, how they live their experience, I also pinned the channel Living Life with Lisa. If you're interested on how a woman goes through this experience, I highly recommend her channel. She seems like a very nice lady. She speaks quite well. She speaks quite well. She talks about her own challenges, her trials and tribulations with the condition. And so if you're interested on how, like almost, you know, a regular briefing on what that is like, her channel, Living Life with Lisa, is in the pinned comment below. Now I'm going to go to the chat first before I start. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. Oh, well, and I love you too. Your channel is next. And your parody was fun. I watched it more than once. It's kind of sad and funny, but most importantly, very spot on. Well, thank you, Ellen Green. Thank you, Ellen. And give me a wrench. Well, you got it. Woot, you all better be nice. Yeah, you better be nice to Anti-Apocalypse or any of my other mods that might stop in shortly. If any of my other mods stop in shortly, be nice to them too. Okay. Okay. You have the power. Yeah. Ellen, thank you. Your channel is next. Yeah. Nova Ray, who is in the chat right now. Let's get this girl up to 1,000 subscribers. Seriously, get her channel up to 1,000 subscribers. Okay. She does commentary on all sorts, not just the haters, but she talks about relationships, dating coaches. Every so often she has her old pal Mars on, who is a personal trainer, who by profession, he is a personal trainer. Once in a while she has him on, and it's really great. It's informative, it's entertaining. Check Nova Ray's channel out. Go show her some love. Yeah. Yeah, they are, aren't they, your channel? Yeah, they are, aren't they? Yes. So anyways, so yeah, so like I said, I'll just get into the brief and what I currently experience, and why I decided to do that older video that is in there. like I said, at the time when I did the video talking about my own experience was, number one, I was a mental health story time channel back in those days where I was talking mainly about my life. I learned a lesson a long time ago. Sometimes that's just not a good idea. But the cat's out of the bag, you know, the horse, as they say, the horse is out of the barn. What are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? A media girl saying I look older because I don't dye my hair or wear makeup is pathetic and ridiculous. All right, to that point, Ellen Green, yeah, she's not the only one who says that. Here's the thing, okay? I find it pitiful that someone like her has to buy into that stringent societal beauty standards about how women must look and how societal beauty standards dictate that it's a grievous sin if a woman shows her age, okay? Men show their age, it's considered dignified. That's the word most often used, you know, for the, you know, the silver foxes. Yeah, that's another term for men showing his age. It's dignified, you know, but it's distinguished. Sorry, wrong word. Distinguished. But for a woman, it's like an old hag letting herself go. Like, talk about double standard. Okay, and I'm here to buck that trend. Okay, I stopped dyeing my hair a long time ago. Number one, because I have hypothyroidism, my hair was getting fried. I was losing hair. That is a symptom of hypothyroidism. And it was suggested by a dermatologist that I stop dyeing my hair. And it was probably the best thing I ever did for my hair. Okay. And I don't need makeup, okay? God gave me the face I've got, for better or worse. He gave me the face I got. And you know, this is not to disrespect anybody who doesn't believe in God. You're free to believe in whatever you want. And frankly, I'm agnostic. There are days I think he exists. There are days I don't. But that's another discussion for another time. Okay. You know, that's another discussion for another time. I'm not even going to get into detail. But this to say, I'm tired of societal beauty standards dictating that a woman cannot be beautiful, okay, without, you know, au naturel, you know, that a woman must have fake trappings to be beautiful. I'm really tired of it. Dudes don't wear makeup, okay, unless you're James Charles or Jeffree Star. That's a whole other can of worms. Again, I'm not getting into. But you know, I'm tired of that trend, you know. We age. It's natural. It happens, you know. We have the nicks and cracks of life. We should be proud of that, not ashamed of it. You know, we live in a society where we're made to feel ashamed of it. We should be proud of our nicks and cracks. We might have done things we're not proud of, but who hasn't? We all have our regrets, but who doesn't? You know, who doesn't? You know, wear your nicks and cracks proudly. God damn it. Men do. Why shouldn't we? You know? Yeah, I'm going to get to that next. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted. That is one of the symptoms, but not of frontotemporal dementia. I'm also dyslexic. There is a video on my channel also dealing with having developed in my early life, having developmental delays. Many of the issues were corrected, some were not. Learning disabilities like dyslexia was one of the things that was not corrected. And one of the things is, yes, I get distracted very easily. And I find now as I get older, it gets easier. Somebody will ask me a question that's unrelated to the topic at hand, and I'm going to get into a whole diatribe about it, and then I'm going to forget what I talked about, that I was trying to talk about or trying to convey in the first place. Okay, like I did just now. Okay, and anybody who's been following me for a while knows that I do this, and those who stick around for me anyway, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you sticking around. There are others who don't have patience with it and they unsub, and that's fine. You know, that's fine. You know, but those who stick around, I appreciate. Yes, you have a different style and I admire your natural beauty. Thank you, Ellen. I appreciate that. Anti-apocalypse, given her support for an inveterate racist like Jeffree Star, I'm pretty sure that Clara has decided she's fine with aesthetics and status existing to the total exclusion of good character. And there is an example right there, because doesn't Charlie Gold also wear Jeffree Star Prada cosmetics? You know, and DC Media Girl, Clara, we know she not only uses Jeffree Star cosmetics, but she also, doesn't she own a Jeffree Star sweatshirt or hoodie or something from the Jeffree Star collection? Hey, Trisha Barrett, I know YouTube sucks with notifications, but I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here, Trisha. Oh, I'm sorry to change the subject, but I just know Media Beast is making fun of your looks. Who's me? Oh, Media Beast is making fun of my looks and keeps insinuating that I look older than her. Look, she's choosing to, you know, she chooses to buy into the whole societal beauty standard thing. She chooses to buy into it. I choose not to. Okay? I choose not to. You know, because in all honesty, the societal beauty standards, the double standards that exist for men and women, pisses me off to no end. You know, like I said, we age, we have nicks and cracks. You know, it's normal. Wear them proudly. You know, and I'm not going to dye my hair just to make her happy. You know, I've already been there, done that. We cleared that up. Okay? Wait till if she were to deal with hypothyroidism, who knows? And, you know, and it starts with hair loss, she might think the same way as me eventually. You never know. I applaud you for not caring and admire your confidence. Thank you so much, Ellen. Thank you. I appreciate it. No, I'm not always confident. Oh, I'm not always confident. But I own it. I own it. Is my self-esteem the greatest? Oh, hell no. But I own it. I own it. All right. Now, before I got sidetracked, I was going to get into a brief thing about my diagnosis of early onset frontotemporal dementia. That was diagnosed a few years ago, and that took a few years to actually get a correct diagnosis. I was starting to forget things. Okay, I was still working at the time, and it was a stressful time too, because the Quebec government had passed Bill 10, which was a new law regarding restructuring all the health and social service networks. So everything was restructured, like to a point of absurdity. Like absurdity would be, to put it mildly. So I had all that, you know, on all fronts. And next, I was starting to read words differently on paper. And I thought it was my dyslexia. And I read somewhere with the dyslexia, as you get older, it can be further exacerbated, particularly in situations of stress. So while it was frustrating, I didn't really think much at the time of talking about it with with a doctor. And I didn't have a GP at the time, so I was at the mercy of walk-in clinics. I only got my GP later in 2000. I forget what year, but it was later that year. RSN, what some channels are claiming the R word. Yeah, let's not use the R word here, please. I'm not a fan of it. I'm really not a fan of the R word, and I don't think I need to get into the reasons why. No, it's not because I'm too politically correct. I'm not. Your channel is next. Are there mental exercises that could slow it down? Whatever I have found out or researched or heard are not empirically proven by science. I have to make that clear. But at this point, I am willing to try almost anything within reason. Within reason. Like, yeah. Like, am I going to take something I'm allergic to? No. But there are things. For the longest time, I would read as many news articles as I can. I once was a political blogger. I had a political blog site called Sister Sage's Musings. That is long since defunct. It's taken down. You may find some of the old posts using the Wayback Machine, but basically the site is down. It's long since taken down. And that was one of the reasons I took it down, because the research involved for political commentary was getting a bit too much, especially I was in pretty bad health. It was a stressful year. It was stressful at work. Okay, with the law, it was very stressful at work, and so yeah, I was putting post-its everywhere to remind me, and then I would forget where I stuck the post-its, which was a double whammy. Yeah, I know it sounds funny, make post-its, stick them somewhere, and then forget where you put the damn post-its. I know it sounds funny, and it is. I can laugh at myself. Yes, I am able to laugh at myself. I can find that funny, but on some level. But if Haydur Nation were to do it now, somehow, no, I'd find it vile. But no, and dementia does not, that's the thing about ignorance, the R word, the use of the R word, okay, assuming that learning disabilities like dyslexia, assuming frontotemporal dementia, Alzheimer's, that people are stupid, and they're really not. Like, go check out Living Life with Lisa, and you'll find she's actually a bright woman, quite a bright woman. She suffers from a condition which affects your cognitive functioning and your cognitive reasoning. Right now, I have a mild form. I have been very lucky. I have a very mild form of it. And when I was diagnosed, that's when I went from being a vegetarian for over 25 years or so. Okay, I'd stopped eating meat when I was 19, but I was still eating dairy. But I had read somewhere that a fully plant-based diet could stem the progress of the condition. Again, not proven by science. There is no official scientific report out about that. But again, it goes to, I have nothing left to lose, and what would it hurt to go entirely plant-based? It wouldn't be such a huge transition to go from vegetarian to vegan, or to vegan. And I do live the vegan lifestyle. Okay, in other words, I don't use animal products and all that. But the more for my diet, so I went plant-based. I do credit that. Okay, and like I said, again, no scientific proof. I fully admit, no scientific proof. But I do credit it for staving off the progress. Right now, adjustments that had to be made. Just for the sake of putting it on the record, I am still legally compos mentis. I have been evaluated, okay, by a doctor, by a neurologist who specializes in this kind of thing. And I am legally compos mentis. And it was actually a neurologist who cared and found it when they took PET scans and they took specialized CT scans of my brain. And they found I was losing volume mass, faster than people in my age bracket in my frontal and temporal lobes. And that's how it was found physically. What's your thought on DC white knighting for Robin? I'm going to get to that, Ellen. I promise you. I'm going to get to that. When no one else was going after his disease and even him not minding at all, people criticizing him. I'm going to get to him very shortly. So right now, there are challenges. I won't lie to you. With the Rona and the pandemic, life is even that much scarier. I don't have that many people in real life because this is a very snobbish city where everybody is very insular. Everybody is one for themselves. No, Montreal is not a friendly city. Okay? Not a friendly city. Now, so we're stuck with the law, we're stuck. So, it is kind of nerve-wracking at times. I do get periods where I'm completely out of it. It's usually in the morning. Although lately usually in the morning, I'm feeling more groggy or confused. I get more confused when I'm in places like the metro station to go through that's what you would call the underground subway system here. I get more confused about that, particularly stations where there's more than one line and having to navigate that. So I avoid metro stations now and only go places that require one bus, or like a very simple route that I can navigate. But now with the pandemic, I won't even take public transit because the STM, Sorry, have not been really taking the extra precautions they were supposed to have taken. You know, hey Kim, I'm glad to see you. Kim, glad to see you. Ellen, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Thanks so much for the super chat. So, anyways, do you know? So, anyways, like I said, those are my so those are my challenges. I had to make adjustments. I cannot cook stovetop anymore because I tend to forget, and I've destroyed more pots and pans in here, and I've almost set the kitchen on fire. Now, I live in an apartment building with paper thin walls, and everything is old and decrepit. So you can imagine this would probably also be quite the fire trap here. We've been lucky. I've been lucky. There has been no more. Hey, Michelle. Good to have you here, Michelle. Yay. So I was lucky that there was never a big full-blown fire, and the fires were contained to the kitchen. And after 3 scary times of kitchen fires, stovetop fires, that's it. I don't cook stovetop unless somebody is with me to remind me or steer me in the right direction, because I'm going to forget. You know, I forget things like whether I ate breakfast or not. And but trust me, low blood sugar comes to remind me, because when I get low blood sugar, that's a whole other range of fun and special. So that reminds me I got to eat something, you know? And yeah, masks are mandatory here in in the province of Quebec, Michelle. All indoor, that includes public transportation, taxis. Yeah, masks are mandatory here too, and fines are stiff if you're caught not wearing one. Okay, so yeah, the mask laws here are really enforced. So that's why I don't do public transit anymore these days at all. But if we weren't in a pandemic, I would have to stick to going to places that take a very simple, really straight line, point A to point B, one bus, that's it. Or somebody would have to drive me. No, it hasn't, Michelle. Hey, Rain Dancer, good to have you. Oh, yes. Well, social distancing here, unfortunately, I don't know why they can't get that enforced, honestly. I don't know why they cannot enforce that. That is beyond me, you know. I mean, stores, they say no more than 30 people, but there's actually double that inside the store. Like, that's crazy. And there's some of the stores that are really small, they're still allowing 30 people in. And in the best of circumstances, to be able to sort of move around, no more than 12 should be in there. Like, go figure, you know, go figure. You see, again, I got sidetracked. That's okay. That's okay. It happens. I want to thank you all for supporting me anyway. So back to what I was saying. So those are the things, you know, that I've had to make adjustments for since my condition, you know, like how I get about the city, how I navigate the city, about cooking. Cooking, that means my oven at least has an automatic shut off. So does my coffee machine. I also have the microwave. So cooking is relegated to the oven and the microwave, which I can do safely on my own because they have automatic shut off. So that means appliances that I buy have to have automatic shut off. They must have automatic shut off, or I'm going to forget. There are sometimes on a really bad day, I could have a conversation with somebody and I'm going to forget 5 minutes later what we were talking about. You know, how often it's like, and the bouts of confusion are often, like I said, it's usually when there's stimulus overdrive, like too much stimulus, like a big box store, like going to Walmart. There's too much happening for me. There's too many people, too many things, too many colors. Too many colors. You know what I mean? Too much, too many. Here we go. That sounds very worrying. Is T1DM insulin deficient? is insulin dependent. Oh, okay, you're asking Ellen. Okay, cool. They knocked 25% patrons out of stores, no restaurants or bars. Okay, rain dance. They rain dance? Yeah. So that's basically what my experience is, but I am legally compos mentis. And I think the reason I wanted to talk about it before a year and a half ago when I did that video is because everybody has the stereotype that anybody afflicted, they get the diagnosis Alzheimer's, dementia, automatically we're a bunch of drooling messes who need to be locked up in a nursing home. And that's not all, that is true, sadly, in many cases where their lives are completely dependent and it robs you of your dignity. And I admit that is a day-to-day worry I have. I do worry about not being able to maintain my independence. I am scared to death of going into a nursing home. You want to know why? Just Google nursing home scandals in the province of Quebec. You'll see why. More specifically, the Heron residence from last April. You'll see why. Trust me, I'd rather be in city lockup than one of our CHL cell Ds. I'd rather be in city lockup. So that scares me a lot. Okay, my future, what kind of future I face. That scares me a lot. Now, I don't get my feelings hurt that easily, contrary to popular belief. My fifis. No, not. But when it comes to the dementia, what I'm worried about, and it's not just me and my feelings. Does it hurt? Yeah. But what I find even more jarring is, according to my own reading and stuff, early onset dementia, Alzheimer's, all those related conditions are on the rise as the baby boomers age. And yes, there's the early onset that occurs before the age of, I think it's declared early onset. I'm not sure if the cutoff is 65 or I think the cutoff is 65 that separates between early onset and the other one. Assisted living to me has always been associated to me with nursing home, which I do really know. The nursing homes, no. My mother used to work as a social worker back in the 80s, and one of her jobs was dealing with the elderly. And she said even back then, the nursing homes in this province were bad. They were that bad. It's only come to public attention recently with Rona. My mother used to call them kennels. And another thing my mother taught me well was how to spot elder abuse. My mother taught me very well. My mother taught me very well. Hang on. You keep your independence, but get help where needed. And that's what I try to do. Yes, I do have a woman that helps me advocate, that advocates for me when I can't, because there are moments I cannot advocate for myself. She will advocate for me. And yeah, she will advocate for me. She gets to have access to things, some of my business, like regarding my benefits that I'm receiving from my previous job, medical documents, medical reports. She has access to all of that. She is a trusted person who has access. Hey, Rafe, good to have you. Rafe Phoenix, good to have you. Yeah. So, no, being a nurse I've worked with. Oh, okay. See, yeah. So I want to, I'm trying my best to keep my independence for as long as I can, because my fear, like with so many with the condition, your dignity is robbed. And the fear goes with me that I'm going to lose all function too. And this is why I don't think it's mock-worthy. I think it's gross. I think it's disgusting. I think it should be off limits. You want to make fun of my looks? Go ahead. If you want to make fun of the fact that I age naturally, go then. Have at it. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever floats your goddamn boat. But I think, like, going after me for having frontotemporal dementia, okay, it should be off limits. And I think that's why I think it's particularly egregious when somebody like DC media girl Clara goes after me for it. Okay, because like I said, she is closest to my age out of this gang of motley bang of banshees. Um, and she's leading her young little minions and her stenographers to come and barrage me with this crap. So they choose to stigmatize the condition, and which goes all along with the disgusting ageist comments I've received. One of my particular favorites went something along the lines of, I should be off the internet, my care provider needs to lock me up somewhere, away from the computer, in my shitty diapers. Okay? And I find that jarring because, like I said, it's not just about me. The condition is on the rise, which means odds are high that somebody, Clara, or any of her minions, or those stenographers, they're going to have someone close to them. A parent, maybe grandparents if they're still alive, aunt, uncle, even a spouse, a partner that is going to be afflicted. The odds are great that they will be afflicted with either Alzheimer's, dementia in any shape or form, whether it's a mild form, which I am lucky enough that it has remained mild, okay, that I'm not that far gone yet and that I'm still legally compos mentis. They might have people that are far gone and they're going to be dependent on them. How are they going to treat them? How are they going to treat them? Are they going to simply lock them up somewhere? Are they going to abuse them? Or I don't know. I don't know. And that's why I find it jarring. It's not about me and my fifis. Okay, in part, I'll own that. But for the most part, I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm looking globally. You can say it's not that deep. It's just the internet. And I'm going to get to that shortly, too. It's just the internet. It's not that deep. I don't know. Because so far what I see is such crappy behavior. It's such crappy behavior. I don't know. They all say, like, what was her name? Future Mrs. Becky, whatever, I think, who came right out and said, I hate older people. It's like, does that mean you hate your mom? You hate your dad? You hate your grandmother? Do you hate the lady next door? I don't know. And do you hate them to the point you would want to torment them, cause them harm? I don't know. I realize internet is not often real life, but sometimes, yeah, your personality, you can get a good idea. And that's what I find jarring. Michelle, thank you, Rain Dancer. Michelle, I have had some people with that. It's sad. I had a great grandmother in a nursing home. Yeah, I'm very sorry to hear that, Michelle. And like I said, my biggest wish is to avoid that. Angie, it can happen to any of us. Well, thank you, Angie. Exactly. Welcome to Straight Talking Fedora Chick, Angie. Thank you. Yes, and that's exactly. It can happen to any of us. I agree, Rain, and aid would be great help. Auntie, I was thinking the same thing. Future Mrs. Becky Williams. Yeah. That's right, Michelle. That's right. Hello, T-Sis. Hi, welcome. People who troll disabilities are ignorant. Exactly. Media Girl should know that it's not only commercial designers she knows dictate the styles of the world. The great Japanese designers like Yoji Yamamoto, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, or Junya Watanabe, that admire all natural. Okay, I have to look them up because I still, despite my learning problems, I still like to learn new things, I'm still interested in a lot of subjects. And I want to try to take up as much as I can while I still can, I know why I get it. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Matt, the mask rapper. Good to have you. It's been a while. Long time no see. Taking care of my dad is a difficult job. I know that situation. I'm sorry you have to go through that, but I'm glad your dad at least has somebody like you to look after him. I'm really glad to hear that, because that's another thing. A lot of us don't have anybody. We didn't have kids. We didn't have grandkids. We don't really have siblings. We don't have family. We can't really trust anybody around, especially you live in an insular city like Montreal, which is made for millennials, not for older people like myself, people who are as old as dirt. Some people, and that's another thing I worry about, like not having anybody. Right now, I have somebody to advocate for me when I can't. I had taken care of a lot of business while I am still legally compos mentis. Yeah. DC Media has been on her channel saying several times that she don't know how to be compassionate, that she doesn't have empathy for people. I would say, in my opinion, that's borderline psychopath. If she came right out and admitted that, that's probably the only time I'm going to give her credit for honesty, because the woman clearly has no empathy or compassion. You know what I mean? I've never heard her say that, but if that's true, that's the only time I'll give her credit for honesty. Means somebody to beware of. Oh, her poor aunt. Continuing from what I said before, without these fundamental important emotions that a person needs to have to care for others, I would agree she probably would lock them up somewhere. Yeah, that's what I worry about. Hey, Chicken Spades, welcome. Hey, I've been really busy. Sorry, I'm in here now for a little bit before I leave work. All right, right on, Mask Rapper, right on. I'm glad to see you here. I'm glad to see you back. A Rain Dancer, you hang in there, hon. You have a good attitude. Just keep praying to God. Chicken Spades, hey, okay. Like I said, and I'm not here to preach religion to anybody, to each their own. I'm a to each their own kind of chick, I'm not living somebody else's experience. Everybody has a different experience to deal with. Oh, gee, sorry, the computer went nuts again. Okay. So, yeah, that's pretty much my experience, That's pretty much my experience. That's what I live today. Unfortunately, I have a new health scare to deal with, which I'm not really going to get into too much detail until a later time. Right now, I'm still being given a barrage of medical tests, which is pretty much how I spent my week, the past week, doing medical tests. Yeah, doing medical tests. So, so my health really has not been the greatest. What do I fear now? Every year, I think my birthday, Christmas, or anything like that, I think, is it going to be my last one that I'm still at least cognitively or somewhat alert, somewhat still around, somewhat competent? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Do I forget names? Yeah, absolutely. Especially when I first meet somebody, it's like, don't take it personally. Okay, I'm not going to remember your name. Okay, 5 minutes after you tell me, I'm not going to remember. But please don't take it personally. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hello. Hey, Ellen Green. Okay, everybody's making friends. Cool. Everybody's making friends. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do something that annoys the fuck out of a lot of people that I talk about. But yes, I'm going to take a break before I segue into my next topic. The next thing I want to talk about, and that is the obnoxious e-begging portion of the show. Yeah, the obnoxious e-begging portion of the show. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So, yeah, if you wish to support my channel, I have PayPal. Oops, I do have a PayPal I do have PayPal. And I'm going to provide the link in just a second. And I also have a merch store. I have a merch store, all one of a kind designs. No, I do not put other people's faces on my merch. Yep. No, I do not put it on other people's. Oh, thank you, Ray. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yay, the e-begging portion of the show. It's Michelle's favorite part of the show, isn't it? It's Michelle's favorite part of the show. Thank you so much, Ray Phoenix, for putting the links in. Yeah, she was doing a video for Amberlynn Reed one day and said, how am I supposed to be compassionate for people? I just don't know how to be compassionate. I don't have empathy for people. I consider those character flaws, in all honesty, real T-Sis. T-Sis, I honestly consider those serious character flaws. Why do people think you steal designs? There are people who steal other people's likeness, their heads, and everybody thinks that I steal designs. I do not. I don't know. But there are people who actually take somebody, like, anybody remember Jan's views last year? How she took Peter Mon and Metamorphosis Rox's faces and slapped them on her merch? Or Young Dumb Honey Bun when she slapped that line drawing of Amberlynn Reed on her merch? And what is it? Who recently? Somebody put Kai, as in Kai and Onision. Somebody put Kai's face on their merch. Now, I'm no fan of Kai and Onision, but really, don't put their faces on your merch. No, to me, that's gross. That is seriously gross. Media Girl was worried about inviting Amber. Yeah, the Halloween, the floor would fall down. Thank you, Ellen. Yeah, she said that. I thought that was gross. That's not constructive criticism. Okay, that is really not constructive criticism. That's getting nitpicky, and that's getting ridiculous, and that's mocking. You know what I mean? I saw stickers from someone that was a picture of Amber or Becky. Oh my God. You see, this, I will always speak out against, no matter whose face is on. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Kai and Onision. I don't like those two. And yeah, they need to be held accountable for their wrongdoings. But putting Kai's face on your merch? No, gross. No, don't do that. Some people believe that a lack of fellow feeling is a sign of sophistication. I'm quite well. I live in a city that is full of that kind of sophistication. Anti-apocalypse. Montreal is a city full of that kind of sophistication. Clara is obsessed with seeming sophisticated, her easily impressed audience. This is a woman who feels a need to keep up with the Joneses, and I find that pitiful, honestly. Hey, Blue Firefly 54. Good to have you back. Oh, yes, I forgot to mention, Ray Phoenix just put the link to my Discord server. If you have not joined Ray Phoenix, who built the Discord server, gotta give her thanks, because without her, there would be no Discord server. But yeah, we've got rooms to suit all tastes. Group of awesome people. We are drama-free. Yes. So it's a safe, relaxing place to kick back. You have to be 18 and up to join, though. Negs, good to have you. Good to have you, Negs. And they crap on everyone else for stealing designs. Yeah, that's true, Michelle. Negs, it's definitely not an ethical business move and can result in litigation. If pursued, I find it tacky for creators to profit from using others' likeness. It's not hard to commission it. Absolutely right, Negs. Absolutely right. Negs, you're right on. Yeah. Hey, Negs, catch a Xanax, honey. Anybody who's watched Negs' Charlie Gold's landlord video will understand what we're talking about, what Anti-Apocalypse just said. And I highly recommend that video. If you want like a good load of laughs, check out Negs' Charlie Gold's landlord video. Check out his channel, period. He gives great live streams as well. Check out his channel, period. Why Media Girl is hurt people mentioning her partner's green card, but didn't mind Charlie talking about BB immigration status more than once. And this is where they are riddled with double standards, Ellen. This is it, what's in the land of Haydur Nation. What's good for the goose is not good for the gander, and you're talking to a chick here who believes very much in that mantra. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So it's mind-boggling, Makes me so sad, honey. I've had that line in my head all day. Love it. What's up, everyone? Negs is amazing. Yes, he most certainly is, Firefly 54. Yes, he is. Glad to have you here, Negs. So, yeah. I hope I made you proud with my obnoxious e-begging portion of the show. Yeah. So anyways, we've gone through, for those of you who are just entering now, you'll be able to catch the stream and the replay. I gave a brief synopsis of my own experience with frontotemporal dementia and why I find it particularly egregious when these banshees mock it. Because, like I said, it's not just about me. It's about, like, would they treat their, I wonder, would they treat their parents that way? Somebody around them, the odds are high, somebody around them is going to be afflicted with some form of dementia or Alzheimer's. Okay, because it's on the rise. And that's why. It's like, I always look at the bigger picture, I always look at the bigger picture. You want to insult my looks? You want to insult my glasses, my hats? Go right ahead if that floats your boat. I don't care. But, going after somebody's disability like that, like dementia, particularly distasteful. Dictatorship nation, Helen, yeah. That's an insult to banshees. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, we're going to get to Robin the Explorer because Clara seems to be screeching a lot about her latest protege. Okay. What was it? A few nights ago, if those of you who caught my little DC Media Girl parody, I kind of, because she likes to shout out her new proteges, and Robin the Explorer was one, and I checked his channel out, and so I came up with the joke. Robin the Explorer, what does he explore besides his bedroom? What does he explore? His bedroom? I don't think it was that terrible of a joke. I don't think it was that insulting. Oh, that's no problem, Negs. No problem. That is a blow to someone after someone like that. Yeah. You're right, Michelle. The tea is hot. Take your time, Negs. She can never sport a fedora like you do. Adopting other people's style just show how unoriginal she is. Yeah, I was kind of flattered that he sported a fedora, I was kind of flattered. It's like, wow, for a woman who hates the way that I age naturally, like I age au naturel, she sure seems to have an affinity for my style. You know what I mean? And harpies are side-eyeing this stream like, don't even think about comparing us to them. Oh, yeah, because that's what they do. GNATs would be more appropriate, or something pest like Ellen, she rocks it. Yeah. Ellen, she rocks it. Yeah. Thank you, Michelle. Michelle, thank you very much. So anyways, yeah, just as a reminder, if you haven't given this stream a thumbs up yet, please consider doing so. You can give it a thumbs down for those lurking in the back. No, I'm not going to use a bullhorn. I don't need to use a bullhorn. I think my natural voice carries just fine. Yeah. So on to the thing, and this is one element of their hypocrisy that is bothersome, and the lies that keep floating around. And I'm going to start with the most recent because it has been asked, and somebody DM'd me and asked my opinion about Robin the Explorer, which is funny. Okay, so I'll talk a bit about that. Robin the Explorer, I'm going to be honest, I don't like hater content, okay? I don't like anybody making a mockery, mocking somebody's disability. I have serious issues with fat shaming. Amberlynn Reed and Booty Beauty are marginalized people. You are free to not like them, but these women stay in their own lane and they don't hurt other people. They're not MFW, for God's sake. They're not Ms. Effin' Wonderful. They're not like others. There are plenty on the platform. Trisha Paytas has caused serious harm. I know her channel's dying, but she's still very much around with her nonsense, trying to stay relevant. But, Trisha Paytas has caused harm to others. That's another example. And my philosophy is, as long as you're not hurting anybody, as long as you're not hurting anybody, hey, you do you, who am I to, you do you. If you're not hurting anybody, I don't care. Amberlynn Reed is not my cup of tea. I find her channel boring, but I just don't watch. It's not my thing. But I will admit something, though. I find her fascinating, and maybe I'll do a video about talking about that one day. If that's what you want to see, let me know, and we'll see what we can do. But I'll leave it with that, okay? I may find her channel boring, but I find her fascinating. not just her or in the particular manner that she uses to troll her audience, but more like how the audience receives her. Like, not just a barrage of hate and fat jokes, insults, like grievous insults. I just find her fascinating. And Foodie Beauty, some of her content I like when she does the green screens. I enjoyed her 80s mukbang. And for me, it was like taking a trip down memory lane. I was a teenager in the 80s. I was a young adult also in the 80s. I liked it. It was fun. It's fun. But do I watch her content for the most part? No. But because for the most part, mukbangs are really not my cup of tea. Once in a while, I catch Nikocado Avocado as a guilty pleasure. Not really for the food that he eats, but to watch his antics, his facial expressions, and watching him in a white sheet wearing a lace tablecloth, it's a guilty pleasure. I know I shouldn't, because he actually does troll domestic abuse, and I think that is harmful to others influence-wise. Particularly, he has a much younger audience. But I'll admit, I come by it honestly, he is a guilty pleasure. Yeah. But yeah, exactly. They hurt themselves. Amberlynn, in the case of Amberlynn and Foodie Beauty, they hurt themselves, okay? But are they hurting other people? No. You know what I mean? So it's like, God, you don't like their stuff. Don't watch them. Why do you react to them? And then obviously it's not getting the views. Negs mentioned this in his stream earlier. They don't get the views that they used to, because people are moving on. And there are people who are seeing, the hypocrisy, and they're seeing the BS. A lot of people who are critiquing Haydur Nation now are not new fans of Amberlynn Reid or Chantal necessarily. No, probably their opinion hasn't changed about them. But they see the BS, they see the hypocrisy, and they say, you know what? That's it. Done. Done. And you're too much. You're too much. Your hypocrisy is stunning, and all of that, breaking people down for your own and others' entertainment is disgusting. And that's exactly why I have a problem with Haydur Nation. That is exactly why I have a problem. And the more they show themselves, the more jarring I find them. Last summer, these people doxed me. They harassed me. One of them sent a threat to me. And I'm thinking in my head, these are the people that are saying it's just the internet, lighten up. But you're the ones, who like to take it into real life, You like to take it into real life. And you people were threatening, harassing, barraging me. You doxed me. And all for what? For your perceived God-given right to mercilessly mock a pair of mentally ill, obese women? Really? It's that important to you? Your perceived God-given right to mercilessly and relentlessly mock these women for your own pleasure without being held accountable? Is it that important to you? Because if it's really that important to you, I'd say, get a life. Okay, I'm the first to admit I don't really have much of a life, largely because of the Rona and the on and off again lockdowns here in Montreal and my health conditions. But at least I own it. And then for DC Media girl Clara to go off on her bullhorn that we're all a bunch of unemployed, addicted, mentally ill, insane felons and losers. And she kept harping on that. It's like, yeah, nice. Yeah, some of us are unemployed, not all of us, Some of us are unemployed. That's why I find it so egregious. I find it all egregious that this is what they feel somehow. This is their perceived God-given right. And Chantal dropped a crumb on her lap, picked it up and ate it. Yeah, exactly, Ellen. And that's the type of thing they do. They nitpick at everything. Including the decor of the kitchen, or whether the housework was done or not, whether the dishes were washed or not, over the lighting, the earrings Amberlynn might wear, or the outfit that Chantal bought from Torrid. Like, enough already. Enough. You don't like torrid try-on hauls, don't watch them. I mean, what is that harming, other people? Exactly. It's on and up again, Rona, here too. We are going to shut down restaurants soon. We shut down the restaurants again a while since October, Michelle. These people, man. Exactly, Wraith. It's like I said, many in the so-called anti-haters. I don't know if that is really a thing, but just for the sake of moving this conversation along, the anti-haters, that would include me, and I guess that would include Negs, now, Silvana, Anti-Apocalypse, Peanut, John's Peanut Gallery. Us, or your channel is next. I don't know if he's still here. They're not all, calling out Hater Nation because they're all of a sudden enamored with Amberlynn or Foodie Beauty. Some of them are not, they just see through the BS now. And they see, that's all. Haters are royalties from England, and they are about table etiquette. Yeah, I'd love to see them at home, especially if they have children. Sometimes children can eat a bit sloppy, They can judge for not having a job. Some people are actively looking and can't find a job, and they shouldn't judge. That's exactly it. This whole unemployed, you're all unemployed, It's like, especially now with Rona, okay, a lot of jobs, a lot of companies, a lot of businesses closed, not to be reopened. At least that's been happening here in Canada. And I believe it's been happening all over the world. It's like really to go after somebody's employment situation, So anyways, moving on to Robin the Explorer, because this is the latest screeching from Clara. Robin the Explorer. I'll be honest, I don't like his channel. I don't like what he does. I don't like him tackling at anything, from Amberlynn Reid or Chantal. I don't like it. But do I find him the worst of the lot? Absolutely not. In fact, I'm about to give credit where credit is due. Robin, at least, he does his own thing. I don't even know. He doesn't play like the hater reindeer games. When they all screech like Drunk Girl on the Treadmill, Clara, Goral Interrupted, Bubble, Meaty, Bubble, whatever, Bubble, Toil and Trouble, Yaba. Unlike them, Robin at least stays in his own lane. He doesn't participate in dogpiling on other people who disagree with him. He doesn't participate in that. He does his own thing. He pretty much stays in his own lane. I'm going to give him credit for that. I got to go, guys. Have a good night. Thanks. Yes, you two stay safe. And thank you, Ray Phoenix, for coming by. So, So to his credit, he stays in his own lane. He doesn't participate in the doxing and all that crap. And I don't think he cares about that, to be honest. At least that's not the impression I got from him. Secondly, what happened was it was in Negs's live chat. Was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. Yesterday or the day before, Negs was reviewing Hater Nation reaction videos on his channel. As he always does, the same style he always does, the same style that we all come for, that we've all come to know and love. And a lot of us wanted him to check out Robin the Explorer's channel, which he did, which Negs did, and only the first few minutes of it. Negs was doing the typical partial reaction. He was reacting partially to it. It was typical. He had no idea Robin had schizophrenia. Neither did I. I don't think anybody, or at least most in Negs's chat last night, did. It was somebody who mentioned that Robin had schizophrenia. And I mentioned something along the lines of, that does not excuse crappy behavior. I still stand by it. I do not believe that is stigmatizing mental illness at all. Okay? I don't believe. Just like, contrary to what the haters say, I do not use my condition of frontotemporal dementia as a get out of jail free card. I don't know where they get this ridiculous ideas from. I really don't. And anybody who's followed me for a long time knows that I don't. They know that I don't. Likewise, I don't think mental illness should be a get out of free jail card either. And that includes Robin the Explorer. Is that mocking him? Is that stigmatizing his mental illness? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Negs himself had been open about his own mental health issues, and he never stigmatized Robin. He never would. Nobody, and I don't, nobody would. Nobody did, The time Robin disagrees with Media Girl, they'll come after him. And yeah, exactly. Exactly, Ellen. Especially, she considers him, she could, like Jasmine the rerun, as Negs calls her, Jasmine the rerun. Robin is, to her anyway, I don't know how Robin himself feels about that. But to her anyway, he's another one of her proteges. So imagine if Robin were to stray away. Oh, I don't know. But here's the thing. This is quite egregious. Here she is. She's screeching up and down Twitter that we are stigmatizing Robin's mental illness. Well, that's convenient now, isn't it? You stigmatize dementia. You stigmatize obesity. You stigmatize other people's mental illnesses. You do it regularly, and you want to do it unchecked, and you insist on doing it unchecked. But when it comes to your own, and that is inventive. Nobody stigmatized Robin, okay? Not me, not Negs, no one in his chat, no one. Ilona, True Facts, you can set your clock up to this point. Ilona, Peanut, Gigi are getting harassed all the time, by the masses all the time for having a different opinion. Exactly, Ellen, and it's gross. Michelle, they all go after each other all the time. It's nothing new. Yeah, this is true. So, the hypocrisy is just stunning. Nobody stigmatized Robin's schizophrenia. And let's remind you that Robin the Explorer is a content creator. He chose to brand his channel as, once again, reacting to mentally ill, obese women. That's what he does. And yeah, that opens him to criticism. That opens him to criticism too, same as anybody else. But as far as I can tell, as far as what I've seen, Robin, his Twitter activity in the past was, to his credit, once again, I will give credit where it's due. I don't like him, I'm not wild about his channel. I'm not a fan, but I'll give him credit where it's due. He doesn't get involved with the pile-on or any of that. He doesn't. And it is telling that, wow, Clara is screeching and everybody else is screeching. You know what's noticed? Anybody notice? Robin himself, he's never come out. He hasn't come out on Twitter or on his channel, to my knowledge anyway. You are free to correct me if I'm wrong on this, but to date, to my knowledge, Robin himself has not come out to talk about it. One way or another, radio silence from his end. So I would have to feel, if he felt really insulted, or if he felt like he needed, I'm sure he can advocate for himself, because he strikes me as a guy who can advocate for himself despite whatever challenges he may live through. Okay, whatever challenges he may live through having schizophrenia. I think he can advocate for himself if he felt the need to. If he felt he was being stigmatized because of schizophrenia, wouldn't he have come out and said something loud and proud about now? He hasn't. He hasn't. Will he? I don't know. Probably not, from what I've noticed of him. But it shows the hypocrisy. Either you're going to care, and it's not the first time I've said this. Anybody who's followed me, mental illness is not a get out of free jail card. I have called out people. I've called out Jan's Views. I've called out Eric B. Zink. I've called out The Rewired Soul. I have called out many other people who try to use their mental health issues, their mental illness issues, as a get out of jail free card. Okay, so why wouldn't I call any of them out? You know what I mean? Victim card is to be swiped again. Yeah, maybe next time I'll come up with a thumbnail and make a card thing, like a kind of like a credit card size thing, and say victim across instead of Visa, the Visa logo, right? Victim, Maybe I'll do that or something along those lines. She wants to come out and play the victim, and that is something she does well, yet she claims I come out and play the victim. I come out to play the victim, I mean, I won't lie. There are times I come out from a barrage and I'm feeling shaken. I won't lie about it. Sometimes I take a break, I regroup, and I get back swinging. Sometimes I take a break from them, and I'll come back swinging. I mean, last night was hilarious. Clara got one of her her friends in real life to come and batter a few of us around, especially, come and batter us. I argued with them all night. I don't know why. Just before, I don't know why. But yeah. But he went, hey, resting bitch face. Good to see you. Yeah, that's great. Resting bitch face. Yeah, you just got in. For tonight, no trolls, whatever, out. This is, tonight I'm not in the mood to debate anything. This is just putting out some thoughts that have been bothering me for a lot lately. That's been weighing on me lately. Okay, so yeah, no trolls at all. No exception. They can go live tweet if that floats their boat. But I also find the ignorance that they have to be quite staggering. It's quite staggering. Whether it's mental illness, whether it's dementia, Alzheimer's, whether it's, the ableist, I mean, here's Clara. She comes out swinging, whining about people going after her for her age, including some of the anti-haters, but when her little minions come after me for my age, where is she? No, not around. She just joins the dog pile. He kept saying, oh, media girl is generous in real life. Yeah, that's true, Ellen. No one cares what she does in real life. She's an arsehole on the internet. Well, that's exactly true, Ellen. You know what I mean? Michelle, cough, cough. That's fine. It's just, I'm fed up with the lies. I'm fed up with the hypocrisy. I'm fed up with their obsession, like what they perceive as their God-given obsession to relive some mean girl high school clique. Okay? I hated high school. I'm glad I'm out of high school. I do not wish to relive it. I don't even go to my reunions. Well, I went to 4 different high schools, but that's another thing for another time. But I don't go to any reunions. Get out of high school already. Content for grown people. Yeah, right. Master Rapper. Hey, I have to go now. Have a blessed night. I'll be back soon. Thanks so much. Don't be a stranger, Master Rapper. Don't be a stranger. How ridiculous. She brings people on her live now to prove that she has some successful friends. Media girl, you represent yourself only. High school sucked. That's right, resting bitch face. It did suck. High school did suck. Absolutely true. And that brings me to my next point. What I find puzzling, this is twice in the past week that Clara has gone on Real Stream News' channel, RSN's channel. Really, Clara? You want to believe you're this sophisticated media personality worried about us ruining your reputation? Let me tell you something, Clara. Hanging out with Craigie Poo, aka RSN, aka Real Stream News, or some, not for nothing, it's been nicknamed R Rhymes with Tape. Can't say that word on YouTube. R Rhymes with Tape Stream News. Okay? And Jen, which I won't get into now, because that's a whole other separate entity. Okay? You're doing that all by yourself, Clara. In your behavior and the company you keep, you are doing that all by yourself. You don't need my help. You don't need Peanut's help. You don't need Gigi's help. You don't need our help. You're doing it yourself. And what I don't get is the first time you want news, you need HNNN. Absolutely right. Only Belinda has the real news. Only Belinda at Haydur Nation News Network has the real news out there. Only her. Only her. Yep. Thanks, Ellen. Going home. Won't be a stranger. Yeah, have a great night, Mask Rapper. Yeah. Okay, have a great night. You want the news, you need HNN. She's so desperate, media girl. You don't need anyone to defend you. You are a liar. No one can help you. Yeah, true. So anyways, she runs to RSN. Somebody DM me the link of the first RSN video this week that Clara was on with him. And here I am, my mouth is hanging open. I shouldn't be surprised because it's not the first time she's lied about something. And there she was saying, Negs doxed her home address on his chat. Now that did not happen. And there's 100 other people who was in that live chat that will agree with me and attest that never happened. Okay? Neg simply received a DM from somebody, and for all we know, the DM that Negs received was the name of his favorite pizza restaurant. Okay? Nothing was mentioned. We don't, not a thing. All he said was he got a DM, that's all he said. He didn't say what the contents were of it. Like I said, for all we know, it could have been the name of his favorite pizza restaurant. They were exchanging pizza restaurants, but no, she was out there like, my mouth is hanging open. What are you saying? Like, he didn't dox you. And I was in that chat with 100 other people who can attest to that. Negs is one who has been through like more than enough, more than his fair share. Okay, because these people like the MFW and Yaba and that, they all went after his children. They went after his children, for God's sake. And they took advantage of a grieving father. I find that disgusting, to put it mildly. I find that gross. So. And keep in mind, I've been subbed and following Negs for a year and a half, long before he decided to wade in on the Haydur Nation thing. I've known him a lot longer. Negs does his own thing. He does his own thing. So she was talking about that, and I don't know how much of what she knows, but like I said, the woman has no, that was, wow. And it's like, okay, if you have a problem, and even Negs, before she went on that live stream with RSN, he had said several times that he really didn't have an issue with you other than finding her screeching into a bullhorn kind of funny. He didn't really have an issue before. I don't know. I can't speak for him now. You'll have to ask him. But the point is that they lied. And why is she going to RSN instead of discussing her grievances with Negs on her own channel? Why is she going off to RSN for that? Why? And then she goes back to RSN's channel again. What was it, yesterday, earlier today? I'm not sure. I didn't watch it. I didn't hear it, except parts of it was being played on the channel. It was kind of funny when RSN, one of the people in his chat said, Negs is something along the lines, I think, like, Negs is better looking than you, and you should have seen him. He interrupted Clara, saying, hey, I'm very good looking. God, dude, get over yourself. Media Girl is always worried people finding out shit about her. That's why she's always lurking. This is true. This is so true. So true. Yeah. I wonder if she's live tweeting right now. Yeah. Wonder if she's live tweeting. Yeah. Whatever. Yep. It's true though. Yeah, I swear to God, he lost his shit because somebody said that they thought he wasn't good looking, and they thought Negs was better looking. He really lost his. Good God, I was laughing. It's like, dude, get over yourself. You got a guest on your panel. I don't like your guest, but you got a guest on your panel, and you're going to interrupt her. Whatever. I don't care. I just wanted to point out that I thought it was absurd. I just wanted to point out the absurdity of it. You know what I mean? Hey, Grey Grebo. Good to have you here. So real stream news, it's like, wow. Oh, God. Like I said, she's doing a good job on her own of ruining her own reputation. Doesn't need any of our help. Nope, nope, nope. So basically, those are the issues I wanted to that I wanted to talk about right now. I don't plan to address them again, or at least not in as much detail as I did tonight. I'm going to turn to the chat. He'll never get over himself. No, he won't. I don't think so. DC Media is one of those girls I couldn't even be bothered to dislike in high school, and she's still behaving the same way. Yep, exactly. So if any of you have any questions about the rumors that have been spread about me or anything like that, feel free to ask. Okay? Feel free to ask and I will answer. I will answer if you have anything to ask. Oh, yeah. I almost forgot. I did forget. Now I'm going to remember now. Drunk girl on the treadmill who's been coming into chats, she's been into a few chats, basically stalking them and trolling. I don't know why she's using names like Lenny Sparks. She might as well use her regular screen name, drunk girl on the treadmill. We know who you are. Yeah, she likes to, she is never welcome in my chat. She is never welcome here. No. Yeah, she likes to come in and tell me that my family hates me and that I'm all alone and that the day I forget my passwords will be the day the internet is safe once again. All of that lovely stuff. Hiding behind sock accounts. Yeah, really, really. A page right out of Jan's views. Yeah. Page right out of Jan's views. Fedora, you are always defending others, always on the forefront. Well, I try. Sometimes I spend maybe too much time defending myself and I shouldn't. But on the frontotemporal, on the dementia thing, I will fight that tooth and nail. And I already explained why. Those of you who are coming in late, you'll be able to catch this on replay. But basically, that's the reason why. It's not just about me. It's about the bigger picture. Because how are they going to treat a parent who will be afflicted with Alzheimer's or dementia? How are they going to treat them? How are they going to treat, I don't know, an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent if they're still around? How are they going to treat them? How are they what's their attitude towards the condition? Is it still that much of a taboo? I can see it's definitely stigmatized. And that I find jarring. See, I'm always about the bigger picture. FTD isn't a joke, trust me. I'm just lucky, Grebo, that I have a mild form of it. Right now, it's relegated to word loss, because sometimes when I talk and I can't find my words, and there are older streams you'll find where I do get lost and confused. And my short-term memory is shit. And like I said, I had to make changes. I don't cook anymore for that reason. I don't cook. But to come out and slam dementia like that, I find that, I will fight that tooth and nail. Honestly. I will fight that tooth and nail. Uh-oh. Yeah, are we still here? Are we still here? Sorry, my computer went black for a second. Be lucky to have our grandparents. Some of them have passed away already. Yeah, exactly. And yet the justification for the endless pile-on ALR FB is that they're bad people. Yeah. But taunting someone about cognitive decline is a sign of robust character. Oh yeah, real robust, Auntie. Real robust. It's shameful to slam. It is, Grebo. It is. It's the only way for them to make the coin. Yeah, but a lot of them are not making the coin. This just did. A lot of these minions don't have channels. They don't create anything. People like Bubble Butt, whatever her name is, or because I find her one of the worst. Her, Froggy Pie, I find them the worst. Froggy Pie, Bubble Butt, and what's her face? Future Mrs. Becky. They don't create videos. As far as I know, they don't have channels. So what's their end game? Which is what I'm curious. What is their end game? When you listen to fools, the mob rules. That's very true, Grebo. That's very true. They are sad, mindless lemmings. Yep, that's on Twitter. Yeah, it's very true. When you listen to fools, the mob rules. We can always, Grebo, I've known for a while. I've known Grebo for a while. He always has words of wisdom for me. Always has words of wisdom, for which I will always appreciate. Thank you, Grebo. Yeah, what amazes me is most of them are obese too. Protection is real. That's what I don't get either. You know, this is what we're talking about. Like, take even on program situation. What's worse is this girl is hammering the McDonald's. She's hammering down on the McDonald's, but yet she's doing reaction videos slamming Chantal and Amberlynn for eating. You know, you're doing the same thing. Why does it make you better? You're not better, you know? And I ordinarily wouldn't care about the size of these girls if they weren't doing what they're doing. If their blatant hypocrisy wasn't out in plain sight, I wouldn't care about their size. I honestly wouldn't care. I wouldn't talk about it. I wouldn't care. But their hypocrisy is kind of making me feel compelled to care. Not because of their size, but because of their own hypocrisy. You know what I mean? You know why Clara went off on Ilona Shakara Transformations, you know, the bodybuilder slash fitness trainer? You know pretty much why she went off at her. Because Shakara Transformations critiqued on-program situation. See, Shakara Transformations, what she doesn't realize is that Ilona thinks for herself, A. Ilona pretty much stays in her own lane, B, and C. For Ilona, you know, everybody is fair game for critique. And this is what Clara and them don't get, you know. Hey, Team Gen X, yes, we're all here. You're not a Jack. You're not a doctor. Check. Bait. Checkmate. Check. Oh, those are bullhorns. Oh, God, they're cute. Checkmate. Emergency burger. When did that happen? You're talking about when she went after Shakara Transformations, Michelle? Oh, God, was it? Can't pinpoint the. Was it about a month ago? When was it the first time that Clara lost her shit in a bullhorn over Shakara Transformations? Was it a month ago? I can't remember exactly when. That's another thing about my issues. Time and dates. Don't ask me the time and date of things. Okay, most of the time I'm not going to remember. I'll remember an event, but I won't remember exactly when it happened. Hey, Frauke, good to see you. They want to silence you. That's terrible. They are adults. Well, that won't happen. I love the cheeseburger emojis. They are crab bucketing others who are in the same situation. Yeah, I would say so too, Grebo, Michelle. Ilona minds her own business and actually tries to give advice. That's just it. Yeah, exactly, Michelle. Ilona actually gives critique and she provides analysis according to her own knowledge, her own experience, and her own, you know, her own expertise. Realistically, it's counterproductive for DCMG to be so vain about any signs of physical aging while she's ignoring her own overweight, which ages her, all the while criticizing others of overeating. It's not something, anti-apocalypse, it is. I mean, I'm overweight and I have trouble controlling it for a variety of reasons, one of which is hypothyroidism. Now I just got my Synthroid dosage upped. Yeah, my doctor a couple of days ago just upped my Synthroid dosage. Because the dosage I had was no longer doing it for me. Yeah. That's happening to me too. Can't keep track because of Rona. Exactly. Hey, Mama Ricky. I'm glad to see you. I'm okay. I'm doing okay, Mama Ricky. Party Apocalypse said a few times that Chantal looks older. She said a few times. Yeah, we've seen that too, Ellen. Hey, everyone there. Much love back to you, Mama Ricky. Much love back to you. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're all here, and I'm glad you know, those of you who came in late, those of you who had to leave. Like I said, this will be available in replay, and I appreciate all of you for sticking around with me on this and taking the time out of your schedule to listen to my side of things, to listen to me. Because so far we'd only heard Clara screeching. We'd seen Clara's tweets. And I decided to address a few of those points, So I'm glad you're all here for that. I'm glad you're all here listening. I want to thank you for that. I really want to thank you for that. And I want to thank my mods for being here. I've been lucky. Trolls have not come in, so I'm good. Even I didn't know who FB and DCMG were. I'd still say that's manifestly not true. Yeah, exactly. It's been fun to see her read this on Twitter. Hey, Chicken Spades. I'm so glad I don't do Twitter. It sounds like it can be a blood sport, Grebo, and I'll explain it. My relationship with Twitter is the best way for me to describe my relationship with Twitter. It's a love-hate relationship. Honestly, there are days I hate it. I hate everybody on it. But in all honesty, I find the people like on my Facebook, and this is, basically semi-private. My posts are only open to my Facebook friends. And most of the people in there are real life friends or acquaintances, more real life acquaintances I've met over the years, way back in the days when I had Sister Sage's musings and I was doing political commentary. But I'm finding them more toxic lately too, as of late. So I'm really finding them more toxic as of lately, to be perfectly frank. That DC media reminds me of Silent Psycho. Just my opinion. Don't come after me, weirdo. Not that I care, mind you, but since Clara has made it clear how she ages is important to her, a little more objective self-criticism would help her. Yeah, I would agree. And I think it's sad, obviously. I honestly think it's sad. I think it's honestly sad. What happened to that comment? Hang on. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, I think it's sad. What it is about her, the vanity, like it seems to take precedence over everything. I honestly think that's sad. Because, my game is, and this is one of the reasons why I'm disillusioned with so-called feminism, modern feminism, because we're living in a day and age where women, the quality of the woman is defined by her looks first and foremost. And even dating coaches, trust me, I've seen it, I've read them, even, they define the quality, they measure the quality of a woman by her appearance. And basically, I've always been here to say, whatever happened to defining the quality of people, men and women, defining the quality of people by their integrity, how they approach their fellow man? More importantly, are they going to turn their noses up at those demarginalized in society? That means the mentally ill, those who are suffering with an addiction, the disabled. Yes, we're going to include the morbidly obese, those who are poor, those who are unemployed. Yeah, we're going to include the elderly, whether they have dementia or Alzheimer's or not. We're going to include the elderly, because especially to hear the way those yappers go out with the ageist comments, we're going to put the elderly there, senior citizens. So to me, whatever happened to measuring people by how they approach their fellow man, how they approach especially the marginalized, their integrity, their strength of character, empathy, compassion. So you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Fedora's Twitter is like an adventure map to awesome people and semi-professional psychos. DCMP. So true, Mama Ricky. So true. Hang on, let's go further up. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Mama Ricky, she is extremely manipulative. Ellen Green, LOL. I survived truthfully, Trisha. I know how manipulative, LOL, trust and believe, hun. Mama Ricky, you've gotten yourself acquainted with old truthfully, Trisha, have you? I've been lucky. I've never been under her radar. And trust me, I've got enough people. I'm flying under radars I don't want to be under, but I am. The last person I need on top of it is truthfully Trisha. But in all honesty, truthfully Trisha is amateur hour compared to these people. Yeah, Trisha is really amateur hour compared to these people. Um, amen. So shallow. Whatever happened to brains respect and being a hard worker? Exactly, Michelle. Exactly. Exactly. On my OMFG, I wonder what they think of my appearance. LOL. I ain't exactly her average. I'm sure you're just fine, Mama Ricky. I'm sure you're just fine. And so far, from what I've seen of you, you're a nice person, and I'm good with, and that's all that matters. I don't care what you look like. I do not care what you look like. Oh, Fedora, I'll DM you some links. Yeah, it was 3 years ago, but the damage still lingers, and just I learned to live alongside the damage. Yeah, that's what some of us can do. I'm sorry for whatever it was that you went through, and I will definitely check out my DMs later. I'm assuming you're talking about Twitter, Twitter DMs. I'm assuming. I'll check that out. Don't worry. You know. Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, Twitter. I ended up in Twitter jail. What was it? I don't remember when. It was not that long ago. I was in Twitter jail for 12 hours. It was my first grievous offense. And there's one thing I've always said. When I'm on my game and I'm feeling on top of my game, and you want to pick a fight with me, I'm going to do all to hit back 10 times harder. And that's what I did to get myself in Twitter jail. This is another thing that is going around. Apparently the C word, C ends with T. Yeah, Twitter frowns on that. Dang. Twitter frowns on that. I use that word. And with one of them, Bubble Butt, I remember this clearly, Bubble Butt, and this was after a barrage of insults about my dementia, about my age. It was all about my age and my dementia, and it was all onset barrage, like get off the internet, grandma, and like really nasty shit. And I came back and I hit hard. And I said something rather controversial, and some of you in the chat probably won't agree with it. And that's fine. The only thing I will say to that was if you saw the entire exchange, while you may not agree with what I said, I would hope that you would understand why I said it. Okay? It's a word I cannot use on YouTube, so I'm going to try. So I'm going to paraphrase the best I can because I can't say the word on YouTube. It's one of the verboten words. I told Bubble Butt, your parents made a mistake even having you in the first place and endangered their own safety. That's what I told her. That's what I told her. And of course, I called her C ends with T. And that's when I landed in Twitter jail. Yes, I'll be honest, I did say that to her. But like I said, I do hit 10 times harder at times. I will be honest, I said it, low blow, perhaps. I'm open to that being, I'm open to that criticism. I'm not going to apologize, though. One thing I am not into is the gray hoodie in the dark, making insincere YouTube apologies. Okay, that's not me. You're not going to get that from me. I'm not going to apologize. I meant every word I said. I still do. Okay? So if you, yeah. What's the bail set? Hey, Michelle, I have other Twitter accounts. I was able to go play with my other Twitter accounts. It's really not a big deal, you know? I was still able to play around. Yes, let me go. Yeah, let me go. Yes, I'll be twittering on the Twitter. Belinda is always in jail. Poor Belinda. And I love Belinda. Honestly, I love Belinda. You know, and there's one thing about Belinda. She hates everybody equally. But when she learned about them, when they went after, and I got to thank Belinda. I don't know if she's lurking in the background, but I want to thank her publicly if there for something she's come out and done for me. When she learned that they were coming after me for having dementia, Belinda did come out in my defense. And I want to thank you if you're lurking, Belinda, Hater Nation News Network. Yeah, I want to thank you for that. So Belinda will always be, Belinda will always be amongst my good people. It was a couple of days ago, I believe. Yeah, maybe. Like I said, I can't remember time. I could remember events. I can't remember time. I looked up Truthfully Trisha. Oh my God, I could tell it was trouble. Michelle, did you know that Truthfully Trisha was on the Dr. Phil show a few years ago? I swear to God, she couldn't even grow her channel from that. She was on the Dr. Phil show, and yeah, it was like the height of drama. At that time, she was still married to Sean, and she was still married to Sean, and she was basically complaining to Dr. Phil about her haters, and she put on a real show, and she claimed she was allergic to black pepper, and some of her haters sent pizza over anonymously with black pepper on it. And it's like, first of all, let's assume this is true for a second, and total strangers sent you pizza or food that you never ordered. Are you good? Why are you eating it? I would tell the delivery guy, take it back. Take it back. I don't want it. Are you going to take it? Are you going to take it into your home and eat it? Really? Even I know that. I might be declining a bit, but even I know that. What's one of my favorite words? Good for you. Speak your piece. Thank you, Hippie Co. I'm glad you're here. I didn't see you earlier, Hippie Co. I didn't see you earlier. Belinda's a kind asshole. I think Belinda. I think Ellen. I think Belinda would buy that. She's been very kind to me. So Belinda has been very kind to me. The Queen, even Dr. Phil, even he knew she was a train wreck. Yeah, that he did. Oh, God bless Belinda and Oscar. Oscar is Belinda's dog, for those who don't know. One of the best things to come out of Hater Nation. She's a gem, she's an equal opportunity hater, as she always says, and I can get behind that. I can respect that. But what I like is, she's come to my defense a few times, and she's good people. The Dr. Phil show was hilarious. It was, wasn't it? Yeah, she couldn't grow her channel. She couldn't get more exposure out of that. Truthfully, Trisha, she couldn't get more exposure out of that. I swear to God, even if I were to fly under Truthfully Trisha's radar one day, she's amateur hour to me after what I've been through with the haters. She's amateur hour. Even MFW's ride or die stands, her trolls, amateur hour. Honestly, they're amateur hour. And I've done a lot of MFW videos. That's actually what grew my channel. Yeah, admittedly. See, I admit the truth. I didn't expect that it would do it in that way, but that's what happened. Chicken Spades, I remember watching that. You do, huh? Would you send a kind message to Media Girl? What is it, Ellen? What kind message do you want me to send her? Hippie Cove, you're very welcome. Mama Ricky, Mama Ricky, she's being sent quite a few pizzas. It takes an idiot to eat anything, a troll or, well, exactly. Why are you, if it were me and somebody sent food over here, I didn't order, okay, I would send it away. Although nowadays I got to be careful, because if anybody remembers, there was a stream and somebody came to my door and I had ordered groceries, but I thought I canceled the order, but I didn't. So it was kind of a surprise. And then I took a look at my account from the grocery store online, and sure enough, I had ordered extra groceries that I'd forgotten about. So that's something else I'm going to have to be mindful about. I might be forgetting what I'm ordering and what I cancel orders. Yeah. STFC said Belinda was kind to her. Now they're going to call Belinda a racist again. Oh, God, no, I didn't get Belinda in trouble again. You see, this is how they work. This is another example of the absurdity of it. I'm going to thank someone like Belinda for her kindness toward me. And now they'll go and barrage her. They'll go and barrage her, and somehow it would be. This is the absurdity of it. It's insanity. Uh, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh God, I'm so sorry, Belinda. That's not my intent to get you in trouble again. That is really not my intent. Even Negs called out Trisha for hopping on the chances with Dr. Phil and Sniper Wolf. I don't know who Sniper Wolf is. I really don't know who Sniper Wolf is. But yeah, he's right. I'll say the same thing. She she could have grown her channel. She could have gone places, with the Dr. Phil thing, but she didn't. Yeah, she didn't. Whatever happens to having respect, whatever happened to having respect for your fellow YouTubers. Michelle, I'll tell you how I operate, I think respect, this is a long thing. With this crew, if you're going to insult me for having dementia, or if you devote your channels to relentlessly mocking mentally ill, obese women, and you're going to do all to hang on to what is perceived your God-given right for this type of bullying, you don't deserve my respect. Sorry, that's not happening. You don't deserve my respect. The ageist comments, the ableist comments, sorry, that not happening neither. That not happening neither. Don't worry, it'll be grist for the mill and a Hater Nation news update if they do go after her. Yeah, more than likely. I mean, that's for her, that's news, right? Anti-apocalypse. For her, that's new. That's just a news cycle for her. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly a news cycle. So, yeah. Is there any questions you have of me regarding the rumors being spread around or anything? Any questions you have? Now is the time to do it, because I'm going to jump off the stream because I've already been on for nearly 2 hours. I'll be on for another 5 to 10 minutes. So I'll devote that. If you've got any questions or anything, you heard something about me, you want to know if it's true or not, go ahead and ask. Go ahead and ask. I mean, you shouldn't be crapped on for giving respect, I think. Absolutely right, Michelle. I'll agree with that. I'm with you there. So like I said, if you got any questions, if they don't come to you now before I jump off the stream, my comment section is always open. Feel free to ask. And just to let you know, some of you banshees, if you're going to come here and leave comments or leave these trolling comments, I'm going to erase them. Okay, I don't have the patience tonight. I'm going to delete them. Okay? Yeah, if you want to say I'm pulling a beauty, exactly, go for it. Makes you happy. But I'm not putting up with it for this post. I'm not. I can't. And I won't. But yeah, but basically my comment section will be left open. Before we go, yes, don't forget to give a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing. Once again, we're going to do Michelle's favorite part of the show, the drum roll, the obnoxious e-begging portion of the show. The obnoxious e-begging portion of the show. If you wish to support the channel, you may do so through PayPal. And yep, there's also, I have a merch store. Yay. All original designs. I have a merch store, so go check that out. Yep, go check that out. Okay, my merch. And yeah, and if you haven't joined our Discord server already, please consider joining. Yeah, come and meet some awesome people. We are pretty much drama-free. We strive to be drama-free. What we want to be and what we strive to be always is a safe place and a relaxing place to kick back. Or if you need to vent to somebody, a non-judgmental, sympathetic ear, we have our venting corner. Plus, we have rooms to suit all tastes, anything from political chit-chat to sharing your favorite recipes or your artwork. Please consider, you have to be 18 and up to join, and there is a brief, quick verification process you have to go through before joining. So if you haven't joined already, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Now back to you. Back to you. I want to thank you all for sticking around. And yeah, for those out there waiting for an apology for my little comment that I mentioned, that I with the words I can't say on YouTube. Sorry, I don't do insincere apologies. Sorry. Honestly, I think if I were to start doing insincere apologies, I think people would lose respect for me. I would certainly lose respect for myself. I would most certainly lose all whatever self-respect I have left. And I think many of you would lose respect for me. You can think it's egregious what I said. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But I think you would lose respect for me even more if I made an insincere apology, you know? Yeah, I knew you'd like the obnoxious e-begging portion of the show, Michelle. It's your favorite part of the show. It's always been your favorite part of the show. Yeah. Oh, before I go, I forgot to show you something. I'm going to do a share screen. This is Metamorphosis Rocks' video. You're going to get a glimpse of what DC did a while back. Okay, on me, Metamorphosis Rocks. When I jump off the stream, I will also link her video in the pinned comment with the. Okay, so you can watch it entirely. All right, can you all see it? Yeah, can you all see it? Okay, let's do this. Okay.
Let's move on to the next one. The last creator I'm going to mention is DC Media Girl. Now, I know many of you like this person, and you can still like her and like me. I'm not the kind of person who's going to chastise you for who you watch on YouTube. Before we get into it,
you see, already, she comes off pretty reasonable. But Clara, of course, had something to say about it. But already, Rox comes off reasonable here.
I want you to take a moment to look at who she's addressing on that tweet. She's talking about me to Tea Time and the comedian. Yes, all the people.
Okay, if you can't see it, I'm going to read that out to you. Thanks for the super chat, resting bitch face. Thanks for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to read this out because obviously you can't see it. I can't get it bigger, unfortunately. It says, it was an old tweet of Clara's. It's replying to Jan's reviews, It's Tea Time, and Metamorphosis Rocks. It says, I've tried on multiple occasions to explain to this woman that, yes, Puppet Master, quote unquote, is an anti-Semitic trope that goes back centuries. She just doubles down. She's exhausting. I'm done trying to educate her. Google is a thing. Okay, I'm just going to insert here. I lived with a Jewish man for 9 years, my ex-partner, and many of you have been with me on the channel for a long time. Sheldon is not a stranger to you, and I'm hoping to get Sheldon back on panel with me sometime soon on a live. Sheldon is still very good friends. He is Jewish himself, and I asked him about that, if the term puppet master was an anti-Semitic term. I asked him about that, and he said he'd never heard of it. And he grew up in a conservative Jewish household, not Orthodox, but not quite Reform either, somewhere in between. That was the type of household he grew up in. And so if anybody would know these things, he would. And he also has friends who are also part of the Orthodox Jewish community here in town. So if he doesn't know something, I'm sure he would ask one of them, and they would tell him. And he said he's never heard the term puppet master being associated with anti-Semitism. Before I go play, let me go to the chat. Yeah. Let me go to the chat. So, yeah, okay, nothing new here. All right, so let's continue on.
Involved in this situation are associated. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about how she constantly talks down to me or how she assumes that everyone knows who she is. I mean, PewDiePie has about 107 million subscribers and has been on the platform over 10 years. And if you walk down the street and ask random people, at least half of them don't know what a PewDiePie is.
This is true. I could ask, okay, I don't count. I live in a city where French is the first language, not English. But there are a lot of, but even if I were to ask English-speaking people here, they're going to probably tell me what's a PewDiePie, or in French, qu'est-ce que ça mange en hiver, so, which is an expression. The literal translation is, what does it eat in wintertime? That's the literal translation. The loose translation would be, what is that? You know, what is a PewDiePie? That is true. And just of the record, Metamorphosis Rocks has nothing to do with haters or anti-haters or anything. She has absolutely nothing to do with that.
Just saying. We're all not as important or as famous as we think we are.
True. This is true.
I'm not going to spend this.
It's a good reminder.
Because this person's nastiness was sent in my friend's direction, and I decided to address it. Straight Talking Fedora Chic is another creator on this platform who literally just celebrated her birthday. She lives with a condition called Frontotemporal Dementia, and I hope I'm saying that right. And no, I'm not outing her condition. She has talked about this on her channel. This is early onset dementia, for those of you who don't know. And she has also talked about her work experience in the past. Fedora has always been very clear about her work as assisting social workers and psychologists because the law in her country has harsh penalties for misrepresenting yourself.
Actually, in my province,
More
but
importantly, her benefits could be affected by this situation. Now, I don't know how much you all know about dementia, so I'll be brief. It has no cure at the moment, but there are treatments that can slow down the progression of this disease.
This is true.
And give you
years
when you only had months in the past with a person that is slowly forgetting everything or forgetting how to do things or however you want to think about dementia. Anyway, I don't know how much you think this affects a person, but stress is not good for somebody with dementia.
This is true.
Which is why if you have anybody with Alzheimer's or dementia.
And I don't handle my stress very well a lot of the time, I admit. Rox is a gem. Yeah, she is. Yeah, she is. She is. I love Rox. I love Rox.
In your life, you are asked to go with them. Instead of trying to correct them, you try to go with them when you're talking to them. If they remember something and you know for a fact it never happened, you still let them think that. Stress is really bad for them. So, this immediate girl put at risk Fedora's health over Twitter and YouTube beef. And that is why I decided to focus on that situation instead of mine for this segment. And because I don't want you to believe my flapping gums, I include a segment from her own mouth to prove it. Roll it.
Straight Talking Fedora Chic. I have not spoken about her before.
That's the first time she ever blabbed about me, I think, to my knowledge. To my knowledge. That's where it started.
Somebody like that. The woman has been going into people's...
But you do punch down at me regularly. That's the thing. That punching down thing is not your protege Jasmine, the reruns idea. Has nothing to do with sub counts. You were punching down at me.
DMs saying that I'm saying
you still do
release people's DMs. The problem is that
never happened.
In one case, she went into the DMs of someone I had blocked.
Never happened.
And we had never DM'd ever. The person whose DM she went into tweeted that DM. I unblocked that person, and now we get along super.
Goody.
She
glad for you.
Denied it. This Fedora person keeps bellyaching about how she gets so much more hate because of her age than I do. I never.
That's not what I said exactly. What I said, and I do remember back at that time, it was during that time over the summer, I was barraged. When I was harassed, when I was doxxed, all that. That's not what I said. What I said, because these people kept saying that I was too old to be on the internet and that I was so old that it was embarrassing. And I was simply calling out their hypocrisy. Did I pick a good tack? Who knows? Who knows? For me, I like things consistent across the board. So I will, compare apples to apples. what I did say was, well, if I'm not too embarrassing and I'm too old for the internet and I'm because of my age, I shouldn't be on the internet, then you better remind DC Media Girl the same thing. She's 2 years older than me. So, you know what I mean? That's all I said. Like I said, was the tack appropriate? You know, because like I said, I wouldn't care. And I actually did a live stream about live reacting to one of her reactions not long after that. And I actually did address that the ageist comments were not funny. At that time, I even came out and I said the ageist comments were not that funny. When she came back out clapping about a couple of weeks, a month later about it, I sent her a link to that video and I gave her a timestamp where she can see that I said that, no, I agreed it was not nice. It was not a nice thing to do and it shouldn't be done. But then she came back swinging anyway. Like, I don't pay attention to your channel. I don't care about your videos or something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing. But it was something along those lines, most definitely. And yeah, it's like, okay, forget it. That's it.
Never get criticized for my age. I don't care if you're going to be delusional.
Yay, I'm delusional.
You're going to be butthurt and whining about people making fun of your age. I don't care if you're going to criticize.
What I get more butthurt about is the actual insults, the ageist comments, the comments about dementia and Alzheimer's. And I've explained myself several times in this stream. I'm not going to explain it again.
Me because I get Botox and filler and I dye my hair.
Goody.
And I don't want to age naturally. I've made it very clear. I will never age naturally. Not ever.
That's fine. And I'm expressing opinion here that I think that's sad that she bought into this weird societal beauty standard that a woman showing her age is like an egregious sin somehow. And I think that's sad for anybody who must follow that. I'm here to say no. And I think it's sad that women would buy into that a woman cannot be beautiful au naturel. I think that's really sad. And this is an opinion I'm expressing. And if she's going to be insulted by that, I can't do much. I can't help her.
That's not my style. That's not how I was raised.
But you do. You do.
My aunt at 94 still dyes her hair.
Goody.
If you choose to go another way, that's fine. I've never criticized it and I never would. Thanks, books and dogs. Why you are so fixated on how I choose to age is for you to explain, not me.
Fixated. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration, isn't it?
You've done videos on me that are a joke.
Okay, before my parody the other night, my DC Media Girl parody, I did one live reaction to a reaction video and another one I mentioned her in passing, but that video was a satire one, basically going after Jan's Reviews, who simps hard for her. It was basically going after Jan's Reviews after what she had done to my friend Metamorphosis Rocks. It's on my channel. The videos are still on my channel page. But before that parody, there were only two about her.
But not a ha-ha joke because they're not funny. You have no sense of humor.
That's fine. You're right.
You're unintelligent. You're resentful. You're bitter. You're a liar.
Yeah, I'm resentful and bitter much of the time, but at least I own it. I own it. I take ownership of it. No, I'm not going to get into the reasons why. I've mentioned it several times on this channel a lot, you know. It has to do with life experience, you know, but I own it.
You've lied about being a social worker. You weren't. You were an admin.
Thank you, Devil's Reject, for the super chat. Much appreciated.
For a living. Go ahead. Go ahead.
See what had happened at that time. It was last summer. What had happened at that time, and I talked about that. Actually, ironically, it was in that same live reaction I did to DC Media Girl, to Clara. Before that, in that same stream, I had mentioned that somebody had brought to my attention that somebody had cloned my Instagram account. And then somebody came to my attention, then something else came to my attention that somebody cloned also my Twitter account. And there were several even cloned accounts of me on YouTube. And again, it happened right around my birthday. There were more cloned accounts of me right around YouTube. And it's like, what is it with these people? Oh, my favorite clone was Fedora Tablet. I became a Tablet. Fedora Tablet. But yeah, at that time, it started with the clone on Instagram that I'd known about, and it was brought to my attention that was happening on Twitter. It was happening on YouTube as well. Yeah.
This segment included statements about having work done because this immediate girl does not want to grow old gracefully, which I have no problem with because I have no interest in going gray either. The reason why...
See, Rox was fair with her, but all Clara can react to something like, well, of course, Clara didn't like it, but I think Rox was fair here.
I showed only this little clip is because I wanted you all to understand that this is all over Twitter beef. She actually claimed that Fedora lied about her job and exposed her to lose her benefits over DMs on Twitter. This is an adult we're talking about, and this is what bothers me the most about both DC and the comedian. These are women over 50.
For reference, the comedian is Jan's Reviews.
We're making it hard for other women in this medium over petty Twitter beefs. And as you have seen while I was talking, Fedora has maybe 2 videos where she addresses DC Media Girl. One is a react to a reaction, and the other one has to do with the comedian. And just because you don't think it's funny does not mean someone else does not. We go back to this thing about opinions and how everyone has them. And the thing is, at the end of the day, Twitter beef. Okay? Twitter beef. Social media interactions where 2 people have different opinions and you cannot handle that, so you attack somebody personally in more ways than one because you have a Twitter beef. And yes, I know I've said that word like 4 times. I decided to only mention these 3 people because if I show every...
That's about it. She covers other stuff, her own issues there. Yeah, I know she's obsessed with Peter Mon. She's been obsessed with me. She had, long before I fell under Clara's radar, Jan became obsessed with me in the summer of 2019. She was obsessed with Rox. She was obsessed with other people, like in such an unhealthy manner. It was just insane. It was just insane, you know? So let's go to the chat. I'm just going to get rid of the share screen. Okay, so let's go back. Yeah. I'll have her video linked in the pinned comment when I jump off. So let's go to the chat. Yep. Yes, that's a great point. Rox is a gem. Yeah, she is. Thanks, Rox, for speaking up on this matter. Media Girl sends her minions constantly towards Fedora. Thank you so much, Rox. And I think Rox was fair, and but I'll let you draw that conclusion, you in the chat, you in the audience. I'll let you draw your own conclusions on that. Yeah, exactly. She has no right shaming you for having dementia. Devil's Rechecked. Again, thanks for the super chat. Much appreciated. Unintelligent? What the WTF? Yeah. Jan is obsessed with Peter Mon. Yep, that's true. We mentioned Rox makeup is always on point. I appreciate she's sweet. I like Rox because she keeps things real. Okay? She keeps things real. And I know I can trust her that let's say I got accused of something on Twitter, or I got accused of doing something on my YouTube channel or whatever, and and I decide to ask her, did I do that? Did I say that? Because I am open to the possibility I might forget, certain details, because I do, and I'll admit, but I'll ask her, and I have a few other trusted people I ask as well, and that's how I keep track. And that's exactly how I keep track. And I also take notes, certain things of notes, especially when stuff is a little more contentious. And Roxanne said, I can count on her to tell me the truth. Yes, you said that. Or no, that never happened, So I'm grateful to her for that. So shout out to Rox. I don't know. Media Girl is bleeding subs again. She better start doing more giveaways. That's another thing that's sad. If there's one thing those YouTube tech gurus always say, don't do giveaways. You want your subs to join you for you and your content, not for what you can give them. Not the free stuff you can offer them. You know what I mean? And there's definitely a point to it. And they also say if you give giveaways too often, your audience is going to come to expect giveaways like on a regular basis. They're going to come to expect it. And that's what they say, Yeah. Hail rocks. Indeed. Hail rocks. So, that's a point there. Now, if her little bullhorn meltdown has her dropping subs, that's okay. That's okay. Yep. Okay, so if there's anything else you have to say, let's say it now, because I've already been on for, over 2 hours now. Oh, God, you guys make it so much fun. You make it so much fun. You make it easy to share. You make it easy. So is there anything else you have to say? Once again, my comment section will be open, but I'm warning you, just for this post, trolls, don't even bother. Your comment's going to get deleted. You want to accuse me of pulling a foodie beauty? I'm more than fine with that, because I really don't have the patience for it. The only thing you can offer is that thing I said to Bubble Butt. Okay, like I said, I'm not going to apologize. You're going to wait a long time. It's not happening. And I've already addressed it, and I can't deal with any more of the snide remarks about Alzheimer's and dementia, because that's not staying up there. You know what I mean? She should give away positivity instead of the negativity she gives out on a daily basis. You're right, Devil's Reject. You're right. I'm not going to argue that. That's for sure. Now, so I'll stay with you for the next 5 minutes if there's last remarks. Once again, if you give a thumbs up to this video, if you haven't already done so, those of you in the back, if you don't like this video, those lurking, please feel free to give this video a thumbs down. Kyle Beaker. Yes, Kyle Beaker, right now, I wish I would forget you right now. Drunk girl, you're back. Drunk girl, you're back. If there's a mod still here, can you get rid of Kyle Beaker for me, please? I don't have the patience tonight. Or, if there's a mod still here, please get rid of Kyle Beaker. I do not have the patience tonight. Okay. It's okay to give a thumbs down. It's all engagement. Exactly, Michelle. Exactly. Yes. Thank you, whoever, Anti-Apocalypse. Thank you so much. Anti-Apocalypse. I think it was you. Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. Like I said, I don't have the patience for it tonight, because right now I wish I could forget you. Not you, Anti-Apocalypse. That Kyle Beaker. Another sock account. He's been learning from the Jan's View School of Sock Accounts. Amazing how they can drop the most vicious insults all day, but they get one back in return. It's all wobbly lips and watery eyes. Exactly. Yeah, like I said, yeah, Michelle, you're absolutely right. You can give a thumbs down. You don't like it, I don't care. It's still engagement. It still helps me. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. So, yes. Thank you so much again, Anti-Apocalypse. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Yeah, okay. So I don't know when I'm going to come back on next. I am open to video suggestions. You're free to leave that in the comments section, or you can let me know. I'm not hard to find. you can let me know one way or the other what you want to see me talk about. There are some who wanted me, there are some mostly Americans from my American audience who have asked me to talk about the Canadian healthcare system, to try to explain Canadian healthcare to them. If that's still something you all want to see, I'm open to doing that. I'll say I'm open to doing that. Just let me know. Yeah, if you're open to that. At least they say it on your main account, not hiding behind a different one. Yeah, exactly, Michelle. That's what I thought. Say it loud, say it proud. Do it from your main account already. If you feel the need to hide and skulk and sneak around, I think that you may have to give yourself a good hard look at the mirror. Yeah. You have to give yourself a long, hard look in the mirror. Thank you. Yes, Anti-Apocalypse, you are awesome. So is everybody in here. So is everybody. So is everybody here. So, yeah, I am open to trying to explain the intricacies of the Canadian healthcare system. When I used to have Sister Sage's musings up, one of the specialties I would talk about in my commentary would be healthcare, actually. So it's something I'm fairly well. I think I still have my notes. Oh, Devil's Reject. Yeah, you were oversee the time difference, huh? Devil's Reject. That's why I keep these streams up so you can watch them at your own leisure. So that's why I keep them up. If you really hate the live stream, give it a thumbs down, and Clara will give you a used luxury bag with half-sucked Werthers. Oh, God. Oh, that is with half-sucked Werthers and crumpled used tissues in it. Can't turn down that offer. Anti-Apocalypse, and this is why we love you. This is why we love you. Anti-Apocalypse always gives fair and intelligent comments. And she adds, she adds her sharp wit to it. And this is why we love and appreciate Anti-Apocalypse around here. Yes. Anti-Apocalypse, you are a blessing. Isn't she, though? Yeah. Yes, England, I miss all the USA streams. Yeah, like I said, that's why I leave them up, so you can catch them at your own leisure, Devil's Reject. Yeah. Oh, that's why I keep them up. She's Peanut's favorite for a good reason. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. This is why we appreciate Anti-Apocalypse. Okay, so yeah, like I said, there are already a couple of videos linked below, a couple of links in the pinned comment. There is, as a reminder, if you want to learn what it's like for a person living through early onset dementia, like I said, the link to her channel is below. I highly recommend Living Life with Lisa. She's quite engaging, and she's quite on it. And like she talks about her life with a lot of honesty. She is one of the most courageous people on the platform, if you ask me. She's not that well known, and that's probably a good thing, because, yeah, and nobody go troll this woman. I'm recommending her channel, so maybe you can learn something. Don't go troll her. You know what I mean? Greg Kaiser. Oh, my God. Greg Reiser. I want you out of my chat, too. Please, Anti-Apocalypse. Resting bitch face. One of you, please get rid of Greg Reiser. Greg Reiser is somebody's a troll from somewhere else. I don't know where. But get them out of here. Please. I've already addressed this, Greg. I don't want to see. I'm not bringing it up again. Devil's Recheck, yeah, time difference, it can make it difficult. And even for the person streaming to go live, some people can't watch it. Yeah, exactly. I followed for DC for about a day in 2019. She spent an hour talking about her teeth. You see, yeah, Greg Reiser's a troll, a regular troll, and trolls around. He's been seen on Peanut's channel. He's been on Peanut's chat as well. Can we get rid of him, please? That would make my evening. Thank you so much, Resting Bitch Face. Thank you. Thank you so much. My mods are awesome. My mods are awesome. And I want to thank you both for the awesome job that you do. Yeah, he's gone now, Michelle. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Yeah. You see, imagine spending an hour talking about nothing but your teeth. Okay, you got veneers. Great. Congratulations. What do you want? A medal? Does that make you a good person? Does that make you an accomplished person? I don't think so. But if that's what you think, fine. I think it's sad, but it's fine. Yep. Got him good. Someone said he might be from Kiwi Farms. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay. DC is a privileged bitch with a dark history. Sure looks that way, don't it, Ellen? Sure looks that way. I don't know much about her background at all, honestly. I don't know what kind of upbringing she had. Whatever the case may be, it may explain why she is the way she is today, but it may explain why she is the way she is today, but really it doesn't excuse more than half of her behaviors. You know what I mean? It really doesn't. It really doesn't excuse more than half her behaviors. Yep. Okay. All right. So yeah, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Yeah. So, anyways, okay. So that's just gonna about do it. Exactly. No excuse for nasty behavior. When she rants, she looks like Ming, the merciless from Flash Gordon. Oh my God, does that Flash Gordon? That does take me back. I never really watched the show. My brother, I think my brother was more of a fan of it than I was. Yeah. Yeah, but man, Flash Gordon, that takes me back. Because here in Canada, of course, we do get a lot of American TV shows. Yeah. Yeah, to Google, that's okay, Ellen. That's okay. That's not a problem. You know, it's always better to ask questions. You know, questions I don't have a problem with. If you want to ask me questions about my experience with dementia or about experience with my life and my challenges, or if you want to ask me anything, you know, almost anything. There's certain things within reason I won't answer. Obviously, I'm not going to dox myself. But, you know, I'm open to questions. I'd rather people ask me questions, not dumbass questions like the trolls who were in here did. Okay, not those kind of dumbass questions. But if anybody has serious questions they want to ask me, I'm happy to answer them, you know. I'd rather you ask me than go off on ignorant stereotypes, you know, like they do, right? Yeah. I watched the repeats in Land of the Giants, Lost in Space. Right on, Devil's Reject. Do you watch Louis Defoon movies? I've never heard of Louis Defoon. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing. I've never heard of him. Never heard of him. Don't come after me now. Don't come after me now. They were my favorite. Yeah. They were my favorite. Good grief. Yeah. So anyways, I'm going to get off because it's almost 2.5 hours. I only intended to be on for less than an hour, but it turns out time flies when you're having fun. And I want to thank you all for sticking around and sticking with me all this time. I want to thank you, though, you know, that's so evocative. Roy Orbison, Ming the Merciless, the old man from UP. People are really nailing these. They sure are, Auntie. They sure are. Yes. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to jump off. It's been nearly 2.5 hours. I want to thank Ellen Green, I think it was. Let me look because I tend to forget. Ellen Green, Resting Bitch Face, and Devil's Reject for the super chats. Once again, I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you for being here. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed already, you can consider doing so. Anybody who's interested in supporting the channel may do so through PayPal. I promise I will never dox your information. And I will always keep your privacy. To me, that is sacrosanct. And also, you go check out my merch shop. Links are in the description box of this video. Go check out Living Life with Lisa if you want to know more about the challenges of the day-to-day life of dementia. Her channel is linked in the pinned comment. If you want to watch the video I did a year and a half ago about this subject, about my own story, it's also linked. I will link Rox's video, the Purge Part 1, the one I reacted to partially. I will link her video as well in the pinned comment. If was there anything else I said I would pin? Just let me know if there's something. And also in the comment section, if there's something I forgot to pin that you remember I said I would pin and I didn't, or if I didn't do something, don't be shy to let me know. Because like I said, my short-term recall, my long-term recall is still pretty much intact. My short-term recall, it sucks. That's how it is. That's how we roll. Yes. Have a good night. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, don't do Roy Orbison like that. Now the apocalypse with the bugles, the bullhorns. Have a good night, you two Devil's Reject. Have a good night, all of you. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. Michelle, it sure does. Fedora, yay. One last e-begging portion. Yeah, like I said, the links are in the description box if you are interested. Thank you, Michelle, and to you too. Take care of yourselves and each other. And if there is somebody in your midst who is vulnerable, at risk, and yes, marginalized, if there's somebody in your midst who is at risk, check in on them. I realize I don't advise going up close and personal during the lockdowns, during the pandemic, but give them a phone call. If they've got social media, send them a DM or send them a text. Just communicate with them. Sometimes just knowing there's somebody out there in the world that cares about them can make all the difference in it can make somebody's day and make all the difference to them. So yeah, have a good one, everybody. Good night. Love you all. And thank you again. Good night, everybody.